You have spirit guides, ancestors, and guardian angels watching over you. They unconditionally love you. They're always there to support you. And in today's video, we're going to explore a little bit more about how you can connect to them so they can help you to get more of what you want into your life. Hello my loves, welcome back to my channel, or if you're new, my name's Lucie, and on this channel I share all kinds of things about personal development, spirituality, and how to become the best version of you. So we're gathered here today in my back garden. It's an absolute scorcher of a day here in London. I've got a Prosecco bottle's worth of water, it's water I promise, to keep me cool. And to give you a little bit of background as to why I am creating this video of all videos, today in particular, is because I've been feeling a real pull over the last day or two to reconnect to my guardian angels, to my spirit guides, to my ancestors. I've been feeling this pull to look back towards my grandparents. Yesterday, a long lost distant relative reached out to me about expanding the information on our family tree, and I've spent a lot of time with family over the last few days, and it's all come about, and it's all reminded me of the fact that when I connect to my spirit guides and to my ancestors, I always feel so much better. I always feel so much more just surrounded by a bubble of love, I guess. So I thought maybe some of you are brand new to this information, and so I wanted to share it with you all today to help some of you to connect with your ancestors, your spirit guides, and also to help me to reconnect. So I'm using multiple terminology here, aren't I? I'm using the word ancestors, I'm using the word spirit guides, and I'm using the word guardian angels. They're not completely interchangeable because obviously ancestors are, spirits that happens to come before you in the same genetic line of heritage. And then spirit guides and guardian angels can be other energies that you're not necessarily related to by DNA, but who have chosen you as a spirit that they want to love unconditionally, that they want to look over, that they want to protect. And so you're very, very blessed to have all of these energies who've chosen you and adore you. My fiance Jamie actually, very out of the ordinarily, bought us 2 tickets to an event that was all about how to connect to your guardian angels. And before then, I'd never really taken the term guardian angel seriously. I thought it was just a little sort of thing like believing in fairies, and it has some sort of religious connotations as well, so I just didn't really think it was anything for me. But then when we went to this event, it really blew my mind. This woman who apparently can see people's guardian angels said that, she's never seen a human being without one. And that as much as we might look at a guardian angel as this sort of, incredibly perfect and beautiful being, which they are, they look at us with that level of admiration and adoration and respect, because they see that we are the kind of spirits that chose to come down onto this physical realm to experience this lifetime, which, as you know, you don't need me to tell you, while you're here, while you're on earth, you have experienced a whole mixture of positive energy, negative energy, happiness, deep sadness. And so our spirit guides, they look at us as the brave ones, as the strong ones that volunteered, that made the decision to come down and live this experience, to strengthen our spirits and to be able to, improve this world and make an impact on this world while we're here. So you're not alone. You've got a whole backup crew, you've got your bodyguards, you've got your spirit guides, and maybe some of you might be asking, but where were they when this happened to me? Or why didn't they jump in at this point? And the truth of the matter is we still always have free will, okay? They can't do anything without our permission, unless occasionally you hear of stories about like how someone almost got hit by a bus and then they just felt this energy pulling them back, or you hear about these stories sometimes. And if any of you know any stories like that, feel free to comment them in the comment section below. But typically, as a general rule, we have total control over what we decide to do with our lives. So what that also means is that you have the power to call upon your spirit guides, to call upon your guardian angels, and to call upon your ancestors and ask them to support you and ask them to help you. Okay? Now, if this is brand new information, maybe your head is spinning right now with a whole bazillion questions, and this isn't going to be the video for that. This is just an introductory video. This is just a video for me to reconnect myself. But think of it as when you were a child and you had imaginary friends and you could just chat to them or play with them or whatever. It can be as easy as that to connect to your guides, to your energies that are supporting you. You don't have to do some sort of ancient pagan ritual or something in order to summon them. Like, just think of them, just call their name, just even if you don't know them by name, just reach out to your guides, and they will hear you. They know that you're checking in. They know that you're connecting them to them. It's not some sort of complicated process at all. Okay. Remember that they do not judge you for a second. They absolutely adore you. They love you unconditionally. So there's no need to feel any form of intimidation or fear or anything like that. They're just like the best friend you could wish for. So I'm going to talk more specifically now about my ancestors and the signs that I receive from my ancestors, which is so lovely and helps me to know that they've popped by and that that they've come to say hi and to give me some love or protection or, some energy to support me in progressing in this lifetime. So my grandpa, let's start with my grandpa. So, So, wow. So, Grandpa, this is interesting. I'm not sad, it's just a beautiful rush of energy and emotions, which sometimes happens, especially when you feel them near you. It's not any sadness at all, it's just love. That's what it feels like, pure love. So my grandpa passed away when I was about 9 or 10. We were very close, really good friends. We were best friends. And I wasn't really into or open to anything to do with spirituality or connecting to ancestors when I was a child. It's definitely something that I've learned more about and discovered in the last 2 or 3 years. And just before I attended my first ever transformational workshop, I started to notice a whole lot more signs and synchronicities in my life. So one thing that I saw so many of, and I still see to this day, is one-eyed cars, I call them. I just gave it that name, one-eyed cars. So what that means is basically when I'm driving down the road, I see an incredibly high number of cars that only have one headlamp working and the other one is completely off. Like while they're driving, not like a parking light, while they're actually driving down the street. I see it as the front headlamp, I see it as the back headlamp. And in this country, it's actually illegal to drive with only one headlamp working. So it's not like, it's something where lots of people might just neglect their cars in that way. It's actually not legal to drive that way. And yet, I would drive 20-minute journey and I could see 20 of these cars. Sometimes I'd see 3 cars in a row that only had one headlamp. So I'm sure, even if you're skeptical to all of this stuff, I'm sure you can agree with me that that's a pretty weird, or it definitely opens some sort of question mark, right? There's always something that makes you think, yeah, that is a little bit out of the ordinary. Why is that? Could that be a coincidence, or is there something more to read into it? So I just had this really strong feeling that it definitely was a sign, but I had no idea what it meant. So I tried to kind of monitor. Every time I saw it, I would think, okay, how am I feeling right now? Is it a sign that I need to raise my vibration, or have I gone into some negative thoughts? Is it a sign to be more positive? And I couldn't really see any correlation between seeing these headlamps and, or I'm going to call them one-eyed cars, that's what I call them, seeing these one-eyed cars and feeling a certain type of way. So I kind of scrapped that theory. And then, I let go of questioning why it was. And I just thought, well, I quite like it. It's my own little thing. It's my own little, synchronistic symbol that I see quite often. And I'll just embrace it and, kind of acknowledge it every time I see it, right? So then a good couple of years went by. I asked a few people, they had different theories, like, oh, maybe it's a sign from the universe to shine your light 100%, that you're only shining your light 50%. That could be a theory, but I still didn't feel like it was the theory. And then it was maybe about 6 months ago, and we were having a chat around the family table, and we were talking about Grandpa, and somebody mentioned the fact that he had glaucoma, especially in one eye, and that, towards the last years of his life, he really couldn't see very well in one eye at all. And I also remember when I was a child, he, I think, had some eye operations because of his glaucoma, and actually wore an eye patch. I remember seeing him wearing an eye patch, I guess while the eye was healing or something like this. And I had this feeling when I heard this information, when I was reminded of this about Grandpa, it just felt right. I just connected the dots. I was just like, wow, I have a very strong feeling that that's what it is. So all of a sudden, I felt like, wow, all of those times especially when I'm like on my own, driving late at night, and I could see all of these one-eyed cars everywhere, maybe it was Grandpa, watching over me protectively while I drive home in my car on my own, checking in, letting me know that he's nearby. It just felt right. And some of you may be fully on board and think that's beautiful. Some of you might think, what a load of BS. I don't care, because it fills me with so much love. Especially now, every time I see a car, a one-eyed car, I'll wink back at it and I'll say, hello, Grandpa, thank you for watching over me, thank you for your protection. And then I'll continue on my journey, And it's so beautiful to me, and it's so precious to me, and it's completely free, and no one can take it away from me. It's my little thing that I have with my Grandpa, and I just think it's so, so beautiful. So I was actually going to share some more stories with you, but I just have this feeling like they're not ready to be shared just yet. I feel totally comfortable sharing the lovely synchronicity with the one-eyed car with you, and maybe as time unfolds, I will be able to share with you more of my intimate signs and symbols and synchronicities that I receive from my ancestors and guardian angels. But until then, I hope you found this video illuminating in some ways. I'm aware that it may have caused you to ask even more questions than you got answers to, or maybe it's just helped you to feel some confirmation if there were some things we were like, is that a sign? Isn't that a sign? And maybe now it's helping you to be more open to spotting those signs and looking for the significance. And above all, the most important thing to know is that you're loved. You've got a whole clan of happy, loving energies that do want to support you, and the more that you sort of lean on them, the more they can help you, and the more they can guide you and give you the answers that you might be looking for. So if there's questions or things in life that you feel confused about, sit in the silence, feel yourself connecting and calling upon your angels, your spirit guides. They'll hear you, they'll pick up on your vibration like that. And ask them what they think, ask them what you should do, and in the silence you'll hear an answer. It might be a little bit tricky at first, but with practice it will get easier and easier. So I hope that's helped you. If you found this at all interesting, give it a big thumbs up before you go, hit the subscribe button and ring my bell so that you never miss one of my future videos. Until next time, bye!